All right, Melanie, this is not a lie. My first question is scripted, and the not a lie part is I'm looking forward to your answer because I read your story. How did you accidentally fall into franchising? What's your franchise story? Then we go unscripted.
Oh, my franchise story. So right around 2020 and COVID and surviving all that, I think everyone was pretty much aware of how kind of unsettling everything was for a business owner. And then in 2021, 2022, all of my stores came back and they came back with full force. And so at that point, I was like, okay, I definitely have something here that's pretty magical. And when I was starting to build it with my Chicago location, I started to look at what Allie Webb was doing with Dry Bar, and knowing that if I could just keep, recreating and going towards the direction of giving myself the option to franchise, that's how I was starting at around 2017. So coming out of 2022, 2023, it was really the inflection point of how do you want to grow this? Are you going to, do the capital raise and all of that? Or is it franchising? And for me, that was a very easy answer. And it was franchising because I'm a people person and I really love, what goGLOW has to offer. And I also just love working with people, and I wanted to have those relationships.
Love it. Let's flash forward. How many units are open now?
We have, I want to say, 19 units open. 16 of those are franchises. We have 41 franchisees. 31 are multi-unit, so about 76% have bought into multi-unit, and about 111 sold.
Great. So now, if you look backwards and tell your COVID self, this is where you're going to be, would you be like, this is impossible? It's not going to happen?
This is not an ego talking whatsoever, but I've always seen a clear vision for goGLOW. I didn't know how it was going to get there. I know it's going to get there. But the fact that, I was able to partner with some really great people at Front Street Equity Partners to do my Fran Dev, that right there, I did not see coming. I didn't see having the ability to have such a strong group of experts who are equally as passionate about goGLOW as I am. A group of 5 men, they will talk about spray tanning till the cows come home with me. So it's great.
So how many, when you were going out of COVID, how many units did you have in Chicago?
So I have 1 in Chicago and River North. So if for corporate, I have a Maple Grove store because I'm based out of Minneapolis. I started it in the Minneapolis area. So I have Edina for my flagship. I have Maple Grove. I have a salon suite in River North. A salon suite in Minneapolis, and then Eagan. And then over in Chicago is when I kind of jumped out of the pond in 2017 after my first storefront here, and that's in River North.
And at that point, you're not thinking franchising per se, because you said you hit this inflection point of, do I go raise or do I go franchise? Right. So at that point, are you thinking, how do I keep opening up stores, or what are you, where are you thinking with that?
Yeah, exactly. Every single store kind of builds the next one. I'm fully bootstrapped, still bootstrapped. And the growth was going to be a very heavy lift that way. You just can't get the national presence that you want to when you're going in that pace.
All right. So as an outsider, I'm gonna say a comment, and I just want your opinion on that. So even the Dry Bar connection, it's not like either service model didn't exist before Dry Bar, before goGLOW. Right. And I think about like what is attractive brand, and then obviously if the consumer experience aligns to what they feel when they see the brand, that aligns. Simplicity of name that really defines what you do. But like the brand, from the branding, the way that I see it, that almost creates opportunity, one, to get someone in the door, and then the experience is going to keep them there. Am I wrong on thinking that? Am I over-indexing brand, or what is the magic behind the business?
Absolutely not. From the very first time I started as mobile, and I was in a full-blown career, and I would take a mobile unit out to people's homes. And I remember like one of my first Facebook posts, because we didn't have Instagram back then. That's how far this goes. It was, the goGLOW girls are out. It was just me. And, it's always about embracing a brand, and your brand should speak on what you are to deliver, right? It's easy with the name, but at the same time, keeping things clean, minimalistic. I love the black and the white. I love, when you walk into a goGLOW, it's bright white. And that's a very strong statement to say, we're really into clean beauty, into clean ingredients. What the traditional spray tan industry has delivered for the past 30 years is dark, back of the house sort of, service. And I truly believe and know, because of the response to goGLOW, that clients deserve better. Clients deserve a better experience. They deserve to have clean air filtration. There's a patented boost, but everything that, our commitment to the client experience and our commitment to the client, it speaks in our branding.
And then is that the magic for a franchisee, in that you've done the work on how does a brand communicate with the buyer, and then how do you obviously meet their expectations?
Yeah, exactly. And speaking on what goGLOW sort of is, and we've got a couple of things going on. Not only are we an emerging brand where we're building a franchise system, we're also disrupting an industry. We're also coming out and saying, hey, sorry about how spray tanning has really been pretty awful for a lot of people for a long time. Yeah. We're delivering on this promise that all the ingredients are going to be organic when possible. The skincare line, which is 30% of our revenue, does support healthy skin. And we want to talk about healthy skin. When a franchisee comes in and they see the offering of, oh, wait a minute, there's nothing like this out there in the marketplace right now. And what they see when they come into a goGLOW, or when they, talk with me and they go through our whole, lead up to a discovery day, is that the commitment to the experience, and also disrupting an industry and making sure that when we come out, we're setting the bar extremely high, and we expect others to meet that.
Okay, so this is a turn moment.
Yes,
I like doing the commentary on what I'm going to do next. So, and clearly you don't have a franchise sales issue. I think long term, the thing that you're going to want to protect is protect that culture, because sometimes when you can sell a franchise, it doesn't mean you're selling to the right person, and so you have to be protective of that. But what you just said is a great business position. Right now, your position says franchise with goGLOW. It doesn't even say anything. But you just talked about disruption of a category, the cleanness of the product, the customer experience, and so I always go look at the franchise website and I say, okay, I'm a buyer. I land on this. Do I feel the magic of what the founder is saying?
Right.
I don't. And that's where, I think you just said something that was just so powerful. If it were me, I'd go back, I'd blow up that website, and I would say, I'm gonna take what I started saying at the 6-minute mark and then start putting it into play.
It's very true what you're saying, because we go back and of course we talk to our franchisees, and every single time, the constant and the steady is that I bought in because of Mel. I bought in because of Mel's vision. I bought in because of how hard, like, Mel's been kicked in the teeth year after year, and she keeps going. And so, yeah, to speak, you're 100% right. I think it doesn't speak.
And again, it's not for today. Today, you don't have a sales challenge. At some point, and I'm saying something that you probably already know.
No,
a multi-unit agreement. The thing that I don't love about I understand the purpose of it. What I don't love is when a territory is swallowed up, a very excited customer is going to call you and say, oh, let me do this. And you're like, sorry, we're sold out.
Yeah.
And so it's not going to be for now. Like, eventually you're going to have the main market sold out, and you're going to need to break into these new markets. So what's going to do that? Someone that says, here's how much money I have. I need to believe in someone. Like, I would lift your story up to right at the top. Like, it's such a powerful story of battling through. You said, you use the term kicked in the teeth.
Yeah.
So I think like that's what I'm looking at. I'm like maybe not for today, but when you get this thing going, like, how do you keep that momentum going? Because the tailwinds of the moments and the noise that you're creating today is going to impact what happens to the business later on.
Absolutely. And it's always been in the front of my mind of, when I step out more front facing literally in the public, by nature, for me, I'm a very private person, but you get me talking about goGLOW and I'm just like, boom, on, this is my passion. So I do struggle as a founder, as, somebody who who I do know that this brand does, there will be a time where I'm going to be massively front facing publicly, and to be able to talk about what we're doing and to be able to talk about the industry and my expertise in spray tanning, because there's just not a voice out there. It's pretty much a void.
Yeah. I have another comment. I want your opinion on it. I think about like tanning, and when I accidentally fell into franchising in 2005, tanning was a huge category. And then obviously all the bad press on tanning causes cancer caused that whole industry to shift.
Yep.
What I don't think shifted was a human being's feeling that they feel when they get a tan. Like, you feel better, your confidence goes up, you feel like you look good. And so you've solved for that. Is that part of what, like, some of the early thing that you're seeing? Like, there was so much pent up demand for tanning that dissipated because of what happened, but the interest of the consumer never went away. It just almost went on pause until there was another solution.
That's exactly it. And the sort of the rise of goGLOW and tanning, beauty, tanning, health, wellness, anti-aging. You see a lot more dermatologists have their Instagrams. They're talking about sun damage. They're talking all of the lasers that have to now reverse the sun damage that we all did back in college. I remember laying on like Snow White, I burn. That's what I do, but I'll keep trying, And so it is a perfect time for the industry. We know the demand is there. It's a $1.7 billion industry in self tanning. Like, that is truly untapped when it comes to bringing out a national brand. It just is. And so we know the demand is there. We know the demand is there because we have a lot of, independent spray tan artists kind of winging it, buying machines, and I call it the spray and pray, because they know that they're going to get their clients, and the clients are like expecting such low expectations. That's just what's happening in the industry right now. So definitely stepped into that void that was, left by the tanning beds. I hope that they don't come back. They are very dangerous. I don't say don't get any sun. We definitely, all humans need to be out in the sun for a specific amount of time, but to do the damage that it gets done is something we all need to reconsider.
Is the progression going to happen when other benefits, vitamin D, starts going into the spray tan? Or, I have not done research on this thing, so I'm just going to say the words. Like CBD oils, like when it progresses to saying like this actually sells more things than confidence and looking good, is that the next level of what happens in spray tanning? That's
exactly what goGLOW is. We say it's a skin treatment because we have a lot of antioxidants. We have hyaluronic. So we know with the solution that I built that is proprietary to goGLOW, the ingredients and the vitamins and the minerals and all of these things, it's a skin treatment. So traditionally, back in the day, it was spray tanning. They would just try to get the DHA on your body. They'd have tons of alcohols and bronzers, and it was just funky. Well, I said, if I'm going to have this on my skin, I want to know what's in it. I want to know that it's good for my skin, and I want my skin to be better off. I don't want it to be worse off, So building my own solution line, I was able to do that. And so, that is exactly where spray tanning is going, is that it's a skin treatment. So if you're going to put something on my skin, you better believe I'm going to want to know what it is. And I want to know that it's going to be helping my skin in the long run.
I think that's where your voice will be the loudest. The fact that you're now building up a platform to be able to talk about impact beyond confidence. And that I absolutely love that. Now, where does your dream go today? Obviously, and you said we're still bootstrapping, 19 open. It's not like cash is pouring in. So what's the dream like now, and how do you manage day to day waiting for that dream because it's coming, but how do you manage your own stress of saying it's still be patient with this?
I have, like I kind of said earlier, is I do have a clear vision of where this is going. Like, no part of me has ever wavered on, and it's not a pie in the sky thing. I know hard work gets me there. I know the place in the market I am right now. I know how far ahead I am on my technology and my IP. So it's just, I've always been one of the people that builds quietly, until I'm ready. And then it goes. And then you'll see, I think that when you watch goGLOW going forward, you're going to see certain inflection points when we're ready to jump on the next one. We're ready to jump into the next. Right now we have the 16 franchises locations open. By the end of the year, we're looking at 25. By Q2, it's around 35. So like we're heading in an inflection here. And with every single door open, it helps the other doors and it helps with the national recognition. Right now, we don't have national recognition. We have, the first ones out kind of sprinkled about. And so, yeah, this is a very, very difficult time. It's a difficult time for any emerging brand that's coming. Not only, I've got a few other things, up against me is that it's a category nobody ever thinks about, right? And then it's a re-education of the market because the market has been kind of burned by spray tanning and the national joke that it is. And then we have a new franchise. So a lot of things, a lot of heavy lifting, but I don't see, I see the path forward. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that. What is the cost to get in right now?
For one unit, it is $60,000 for one, and it's $110 for two.
That's the franchise fee, though, right?
The franchise fees, yeah.
What's Buildout?
Buildout is running about $135 a square foot.
Okay, and then
we're not unlike anyone else right now, kind of fighting for those real estate spaces, those small boxes. It is really gnarly out there, and we're really perfecting the smallest footprint that we possibly can, so that franchisees can get in quickly and get moving quickly.
What's your reported AUV?
Right now, the FDDs have been released for that. Right now, we're just corporate. So next FDD will have the performance of the franchise units.
What are the corporate units performing at?
Average AUV is 600,000, I believe.
Great. So out of curiosity, I mean, you said the salon suite model, like, it's different because it's their logo on the outside, your logo on the inside. Is that a way that you can battle through real estate or no?
I'm always completely honest one here. Salon suites are a good introduction. They're not the best. What they're good for is they're good for training. They're good for, getting your pre-sales up, but it is not a direct reflection of what's coming. And so that's where we kind of struggle. I think that the idea and the plan for salon suites, it's 100, but the phase that we're in, if you say, I'm going to do a salon suite in Houston, and Houston has no idea what a goGLOW. They have no idea how fabulous when you walk into these storefronts, how beautiful they are. And you go into a salon suite, they're like, oh, okay, well, this is nice. But as we know that we see the numbers as soon as they hit that storefront, it's a different game, And so I struggle with, and we have these conversations with each individual owner about, okay, you signed your lease. How long do we think it's going to make, to construction and to door open? Does it benefit you to do a salon suite? Where is that salon suite? We want it so very close to where exactly you're going to be opening. But I see that once we get more doors open across the country and people like, I know what's coming, they're going to get their butts in that salon suite. They're going to get the founding membership. They're going to get the services because they know what's coming. So we're kind of caught in between that.
I'm gonna say a dumb idea. There's me giving commentary already, but like I think about what is the real estate challenge, and we have plenty of clients that battle through that. It's not necessarily an issue in selling the franchises. It's then like how do we make sure that we don't cut a corner on saying yes to the wrong real estate that down the line could hurt gross sales for the franchisee. And so I'm thinking like with you guys, like the progress, and we're going to continue to have to progress on like I'll use a Nordstrom or a Saks. Like the reality is more of their buyer experience is moving into an online world, yet they capture such a great audience that can walk through their stores. Have they ever said, how can we put this inside our units? And Walmart did a great job with food brands of putting it, and even like glass brands. And then as an extension of that, I think of some of our higher performing food brands right now have gone back into the mall setting and you're mall adjacent at an outdoor lifestyle mall, or even inside that already has a built-in foot traffic where this turns into a part of the routine of going to the mall. Have those things popped up at all in the real estate selection?
I've been approached, yes, by the larger names of, they do those little beauty sets inside of there. Yeah. The brilliant, great part about goGLOW is that when somebody's coming in to get their service, we call it the Adam Sandler outfit. Like they're in baseball cap or they're like in their scrubs. So they're not trying to walk through like a Galleria mall. So we actually can get into more of like not the high, like luxury. We don't want to be by Louis Vuitton or anything like these. People are just trying to get in and get their service and kind of go on out. And so we do benefit from having a different look at, not chasing the crown jewel that everybody's trying to get to in those malls. But, I think that goGLOW looks different maybe in different countries. It looks different in different growth stages. I wouldn't say no, because I think that Nordstrom having their little beauty thing where they have those kind of like small shooters where you have, is it brows or is it, facials? I think those are cool concepts. And I think it does get your brand out in front. And it gets you, collaborating with the right people with the same clientele.
Well, that's right. I said this at the beginning of this, that the brand, if you'd tell me, I'm in franchising, so I know the answer, but a non-franchise, you said we have 500 locations and we're in every Nordstrom in America, I would believe it because of the work that you did on the front end of the business. Right. And so many brands, they skimp on the branding side and they do a good job on the operational side, but the brand is so beautiful that opens up like the potential of where this goes. And I know you're not nationwide in the marketing currently, but I would argue that because of the strength of the brand, you open up in a market, the billboard of the logo does wonders that some brands don't have that luxury,
Yeah. And I think that an interesting sort of thought that pops into my head is a lot of, if you want to say like Four Seasons or something like a hotel or something like that. That is, again, how you go high-end fitness. You go like the Lifetime Fitnesses. That's where goGLOW belongs too. So that's what I'm saying. Like right now we are focused on, franchising and really perfecting that. But at no time is the strength of the brand ever overlooked. We have a lot of opportunity.
I love it. Let's close on this. If there's a franchise buyer that's watched us to this point, what else do you want them to know about the business?
I'm particularly looking for people who are really obsessed with building business. This is a point in goGLOW where it's not a unlock the door and people are going to come running in. It is a phase where, it's high risk, high reward, where we have an emerging brand, but we also have a first to market on a incredibly scalable system. And beyond, we have thousands of 5-star reviews. Like our client experience is number one. And I grew my business. I didn't do any digital marketing, nothing like that until I started franchising, because it's all been word of mouth and that something is good. And bottom line, what we provide is solid and our clients love us. And who doesn't want to be a part of that?
Love it. I've said this a million times before. I'm going to say it again. You bet on the jockey, not on the horse.
Right.
Sure, I think you could actually bet on the horse because the brand is beautiful, but your enthusiasm, your backstory, your motivation means when there's a tough moment in the brand history, which there'll be another tough moment, you want to bet on someone that's going to say, all right, well, let's figure this out. Let's get to the next level. And I can tell that you have that personality. So grateful that you shared some of your story, Melanie. Thanks for doing this. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. I loved it.
For Melanie, I'm Nick. This was another Meet the Franchise. Take care.